All right, fourth grade. Today we're going to talk about the phases of the moon, the 4 major phases. The first major phase we have is the new moon. The first phase of the moon, it is not visible in the sky because it is between the earth and the sun. And you can tell if you're here on earth, it's not visible because you're seeing the dark part, and here is the sun. It is not visible in the sky because it is between the earth and the sun, and the side that faces the earth is not lit by the sun. The moon's dark side is facing the earth, and we see that right here. The moon is not visible. The moon that we see looks very dark. The lighted side of the moon faces away from the earth. Okay, and this is what it looks like too up there. This means that the sun, earth, and moon are almost in a straight line with the moon between the sun and the earth. This is when we have a new moon. First quarter. A week after the new moon, when the moon has completed about a quarter of its turn around the earth, we can see half of the illuminated part. That is a quarter of the moon. So the first quarter refers to how far the moon is in its orbit. Because we know 1/4, if we broke it down into fractions, it would be 1/4 because we have 4 major phases of the moon. And this is the phase right here where it is. So here you are. This is what we see. This right here is where it is in its cycle or its phases. All right, so last quarter. So this was the first, this was the second, and now we're in the last quarter or third quarter. 1/2 of the moon appears to be illuminated by the direct sunlight. The fraction of the Earth's disk that is illuminated is decreasing. And we know decreasing means going down. Sometimes it is called third quarter. During the time between the full moon and the last quarter moon, the part of the moon that appears lighted gets smaller and smaller every day. It will continue to shrink until the new moon. So here we are on Earth. The left half of the moon appears lit. And here we go right here. This is the same thing. The left part of the moon from Earth, if we're on Earth looking up, it is going to be the left. Remember, it looks on the right side, but we're looking at it from Earth. So the left half of the moon appears lighted, and the right side of the moon appears dark. The last quarter refers to how far the moon is in its orbit. Not how much it's visible. Fun moon facts. The sun always shines on one side of the moon. Always, always. We just can't always see it from Earth. The phases of the moon depend on its position in relation to the sun. All right, so our last one is, this is a solar eclipse. So we have the sun, earth, and moon. And this is what it looks like from Earth. A solar eclipse occurs 2 to 5 times a year. Ooh, 2 to 5 times a year. 5 being exceptional. During a solar eclipse, the moon passes between the sun and the earth. So the solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth. Oh, and we have a lunar eclipse. The Earth's orbit is tilted, 5 degrees tilt. So a lunar eclipse. In most calendar years, there are 2 lunar eclipses. In some years, 1 or 3 or none occur. It is only during a lunar eclipse that the moon passes directly behind the Earth in its shadow. So here is a picture of it. so that the moon passes directly behind the earth. So this would be the moon. It passes directly behind the earth. And a solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the sun and the moon. All right, so we wanted to know, why does the moon appear different in the night sky during the month? Well, as the moon carries out its voyage around the earth, it is lit from varying angles by the sun. What happens when the moon comes between the earth and the sun? Certain fractions of the lit moon are visible by us on earth each day. And that is it for today.